So Haiti has become a failed state, apparently. A gang has recently just invaded their capital, ousted their prime minister, and shut down the whole country, basically. And another notable headline from this whole debacle is that this gang is apparently also eating people. eating other human beings, you know? Crazy. What 2024. Crazy time. And this is something that is so beyond the pale that you would never expect to happen in the Western Hemisphere, something that's unconscionable, but I mean, hey, have you ever just, been on the bus or something and you've seen a woman with like really thick thighs and you've like just thought to yourself, worst comes to worst, she could feed a family of 6, if it really came to that. That was a terrible joke, so let's get into the news here. Wearing an olive green tactical vest and flanked by armed foot soldiers in balaclavas, the gang boss, Jimmy Cherizier, told reporters his country was staring into the abyss. Either Haiti becomes a paradise or a hell for all of us, declared Cherizier, a police officer turned gang leader whose nom de guerre is barbecue. Man, imagine getting killed and eaten by a man named Barbecue. Where's Papa Doc when you need him? These guys need to be gunny sacked. So much for democracy. This nickname Barbecue kind of reminds me of that guy General Butt Naked from the Liberian Civil War, who has actually since turned to Jesus after killing and eating other people while naked. Oh, and also engaging in child sacrifice. Haiti already has this reputation of a country that's basically held together by duct tape, and this situation is not helping change that perception at all.
Exactly. The point is, it's a dark path.
My God, I had no idea it could be so bad. Brian, I don't want to act anymore.
Good. Now we just gotta make Peter and Lois understand.
Yes, well, if they want to make me into a monster like those people, we'll give them a monster. Like when Godzilla attacked Haiti.
Oh my God.
Anyhow, quote, if Ariel Henry doesn't resign, if the international community continues to support him, we'll be heading straight for a civil war that will lead to genocide, end quote, added Cherizier. Over the last 6 days, gang fighters have released thousands of inmates from prisons and stormed and laid siege to strategic locations in the capital, Port-au-Prince, including 2 airports, police stations, and a port. Nearly all flights in and out of the country's main international port have been canceled, with gangs launching a renewed assault on the compound on Tuesday. Let's take a quick look at that video of the people they've released. You hear that beat in the background? Who knew anarchy could be so festive? Quote, who is in control? I think nobody is in control, end quote, said Jean-Marc Biquet, the head of the Médecins Sans Frontières mission in Haiti. Quote, and my professional fear is that the policemen are going to give up fighting and say, it's a lost battle. Then what can happen? Well, I guess total chaos, end quote. I think I know who's in control right now, and it really doesn't seem like it's government forces, Mr. Biquet.
Yeah. Faut pas penser mettre couteau en bas cou. Yeah, man. That's true. Nous n'avons pas Nous n'avons pas job. Get on get job. Alors, beg a vinn faire caca. Ok, papa. Nous get on get job. Si mon yo ate ya, e betyo. Mais taliban.
Oui, Jean.
Nous n'avons quoi? Et voilà, n'est pas John Vini bra.
À l'aise.
Généralement, on va donc.
Yeah, there are some gang members looking nice and fashionable and showing off some gear they took from police forces. U.S. officials say there would be no pressure on Henry to leave, but Washington is asking him to quickly come up with some form of plan for transition to a democratic government, adding to pressure coming from the Caribbean regional organization CARICOM.
We are definitely not pushing the Prime Minister to resign. That is not what we're doing, but we have underscored that now is the time to finalize a political accord to help set Haiti on a path to a better future. And that is something that we've been working on for some time. We've been working on that with the CARICOM, so that is nothing new. We've had those conversations, and also the Haitian partners on the path to restoring democratic order in Haiti through free and fair elections, inclusive governance, and power sharing. This will give the people an opportunity to democratically elect their prime minister.
Man, who doesn't love the sound of inclusive governance? You know, I kind of wonder how the Dominican Republic is feeling about this right now. They share an island. Like, if I were in the DR right now, I would not feel safe.
Todos los camiones full. 2, 3, 4, full.
This is how thousands of Haitians have been deported from the Dominican Republic in the last few months. The Dominican authorities say they sent 22,000 Haitians back across the border in October alone. The two countries share the Caribbean island of Hispaniola, poverty-stricken, gang-ridden Haiti to the west, the much more prosperous Dominican Republic to the east. NGOs in Haiti accuse the Dominicans of arbitrary deportation and of arrests that are tinged with racism. Sam Guillaume is an advocate at a support group for Haitian refugees.
Actuellement, la situation est extrêmement compliquée pour les migrants haïtiens parce qu'en République dominicaine, leurs droits continuent d'être violés. Ils sont maltraités, on débarque chez eux la nuit et les embarque carrément sans tenir compte de leurs conditions, de leur situation, sans savoir s'ils sont en situation régulière ou pas.
La gente de la inmigración son tan xenófobos, son tan racistas. Lleva a uno, aunque tiene documentos. Mira, yo tengo mi documento. Mucha gente aquí tiene sus documentos.
L'idée, c'est pas de courir après les migrants haïtiens en situation irrégulière, mais c'est de chasser tous les Haïtiens qui se retrouvent sur le sol dominicain.
Cherizer's courting of the cameras stands in stark contrast to the almost total silence from Henry and members of his debilitated administration. Quote, "It is horrifying. It is heartbreaking what is going on. And what is worse is that you don't hear a word from the government," end quote, said Monique Kelska, a Port-au-Prince-based writer and political activist, blaming the unrest on the inaction and incompetence of Henry's administration. Haiti's prime minister, a septuagenarian neurosurgeon who became acting president after the 2021 assassination of President Jovenel Moïse, has hardly been seen since the gang rebellion began, when he was in Kenya attempting to speed up the deployment of a multinational security force. U.S. officials say that Henry's visit helped resolve the constitutional issues that were blocking the Kenyan deployment, and that the security force was on standby to fly in at short notice. It is unclear whether it would be flown to Haiti by U.S. military transport, and also far from clear when the airport would be declared sufficiently secure for them to land. Man, their last president got assassinated by Colombian mercenaries. American politics has not been this interesting for some time. On Tuesday, after days of speculation about his whereabouts, Henry reportedly attempted to return to Haiti, flying from the United States to the international airport in Port-au-Prince. However, according to a report in Puerto Rico's largest newspaper, El Nuevo Dia, Henry's private jet was not given clearance to land. The plane was also prevented from landing in the neighboring Dominican Republic, which shares the Caribbean island of Hispaniola with Haiti. Instead, Henry was forced to retreat to Puerto Rico's capital, San Juan. It is unclear what he plans to do next. I mean, it doesn't really seem like he can do a lot. Quote, "We will let the Prime Minister speak to his travel plans," end quote, a U.S. State Department spokesperson told El Nuevo Dia when asked about Henry's intentions. Quote, "The United States is not providing military assistance to help the Prime Minister return to Haiti," end quote, they added. On Wednesday, the UN Security Council will hold a private emergency meeting about Haiti's intensifying security crisis, which is aggravating an already dire humanitarian emergency that has exposed almost half of its 11.7 million citizens to acute hunger, according to the World Food Program. Boy, I really can't wait for all these new Haitian refugees that will surely be coming to a city near you after this whole thing ends. Now let's get back into that juicy cannibalism article. Haiti is in a state of chaos as brutal gang members attack police officers with machetes, a journalist in Port-au-Prince has claimed. Violence has plagued the country's capital of Port-au-Prince for years, but the situation has escalated drastically as gangs demand that Haitian Prime Minister Ariel Henry resign. A state of emergency has been declared in the country after gangs attacked 2 prisons, setting many criminals free. It is now thought that 80% of the Haitian capital is controlled by these gangs. Describing the violence in the country, a journalist has said that cannibalism has been witnessed on the streets as the violence reaches unprecedented levels, reports the Express US. Speaking anonymously, they said, quote, "Haiti is living in a total chaotic situation right now. It is total chaos everywhere, especially in the capital where I am right now." Haiti has a leader, Prime Minister Ariel Henry, but he is not inside the country right now. In the meantime, you have gangs waging full attacks on key institutions. You also have attacks on police stations. The officers were in there for 3 hours crying for help, and after that we saw images of officers being cut by machetes being shared on social media. The gangs are heavily armed with guns from the US, but they are also equipped with high-level technology like drones. The level of violence is unprecedented. The gangs seemingly want to kill as many people as they can. They are in a fear campaign where they want to appear as murderous and as violent as possible, end quote. After the interview, the journalist sent a message reading, quote, "Cannibalism is not widespread, but definitely an indication of the worsening situation. It definitely happens on a few occasions," end quote. There's a power struggle among gangs in Haiti, but one of the most feared figures in Port-au-Prince's underworld is Jimmy Cherizier. Known as Barbecue, this ex-cop recently stated that the people were taking destiny into our own hands. Haiti's stand-in Prime Minister Henry faces widespread anger for his failure to put the gangs in check. Cherizier has made threats to seize power in Haiti. When asked if this could happen, the journalist said, quote, "I don't know if he can take control of the country, but what we know is he is highly influential. He is probably the most notorious gang member in Haiti," end quote. Now, what I find especially notable is that it does not seem that the Biden administration is particularly intent on intervening militarily in order to solve this situation. But if you just let it fester, these gangs will probably end up networking with Mexican cartels, and I imagine this country will become even more of a den of crime and villainy than it already was. And all things aside, this was really the wrong thing for the Haitian Bureau of Tourism to just post on Twitter what is apparently an advertisement to come to their country. I wonder who's handling this Twitter account. This is definitely not a good time to visit. Speaking of Mexican cartels, this kind of reminds me.
But I want you to know I'm very skeptical about this whole thing.
Oh, that's okay. And listen, I was skeptical about traveling to Mexico. I took one step outside the resort.
I really don't know what possesses white people to go to countries like these. Personally, I feel fine here in the U.S., especially in Mexico. The Sinaloa and Jalisco New Generation cartels, for instance, are these complex, illegal operations that are in some areas stronger than the federal government of Mexico. And in order to maintain internal discipline and group cohesion, dissent cannot be tolerated under any circumstances, which is why their practices are often so brutal. And I imagine something similar is going on with the gangs here in Haiti. Anyway, that's it for this video. The Patreon is up and running and ready for you to donate if you're feeling extra generous and want to support this channel. But the true way that you can help this channel is if you share this video to get more eyeballs watching this content. Anyway, that's been it for this video, and Red Channels will catch you in the next one.